Hello, Swivelheads. I'm going to talk about why China might strike in 2024. There are reasons, there are pressures that may make Xi Jinping want to strike sooner rather than later to take Taiwan. And the strike to take Taiwan might include strikes on U.S. bases, anybody that he thinks would resist it, since he has that strong missile rocket force. So, guys, watch out. I'm going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it in general. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Google Earth, and I'm going to show you the islands where we have forces, where we're putting forces, the islands where their forces are, so you can get some picture for why they might want to do this. And I'm going to show you the state of some of these so-called bases that we are now acquiring, like on Luzon Island in the Philippines, where there's really anything there right now, but there will be soon. And that's going to create pressure for China to want to strike before we get this stuff set up. So the case is this. There's two reasons that China might want to strike. Well, there's more than two. There are several reasons why China might want to strike sooner rather than later. Now, on the later side, China doesn't have everything they quite want to have yet to hit. There are systems that they would like to have developed and put in place before they make a strike. However, it should be noted that there are also reasons they may want to hit sooner. And those are that we are, one of them is that we are building islands bases around them. We have some in place, but not what we will have real soon. We're about to put some more stuff in place also, especially on Luzon Island in the Philippines, and that's critical. Well, we don't have anything there right now to speak of, but we will in the very near term future. And China may not want to wait on that. Also, we've got missile defenses that we'll be putting in place in Guam, in South Korea, Japan, and other places like that. And because of that, they're not all in place yet. A lot of the THAAD systems, a lot of the other missile defense systems, maybe some Aegis ashore or ship Aegis, those can get in place pretty quick. But we have a lot of stuff that we will be putting in place to try to defend Guam. It's not there yet. And so they may want to take advantage of this weakness. And one other reason they may want to strike for, well, there's two other reasons. One is we still have a president that's not deemed by most people in the world to be the strongest, most resolute, determined, hardcore president we've ever had. Now, we might just possibly get one in this upcoming election. It might even be the T-man. I don't know, guys. But whatever the case is, they might want to take the chance and go with the Joe they know than to wait on what they don't know. Also, they may, and by the way, I got to really wonder, he's taken seemingly, allegedly, a fair little bit of moolah from that side of the aisle, if you know what I mean. So maybe he isn't as resolute as he makes it sound. Makes me wonder if it's a trap for us over there. I think I did as Taiwan a trap. Maybe I need to return to that topic in the not too distant future. But so here's the deal. Also, they are in the process with a meeting coming up with the BRICS nations, and the 22nd will be the 24th of August in South Africa, where they're going to roll out their so-called gold-backed currency. Yeah, the gold-backed currency. Well, yeah, I got something here that actually is gold. I finally got me one, guys. So I'll talk about that. Yeah, check out Defy the Grid. Links below. Oh, I got it upside down, don't I? Yeah, this is a bill, which is gold. It's not gold back. It is gold. You can get them if you go to Defy the Grid. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But anyway, so guys, yeah, the link's below for that. But anyway, so guys, the situation is that the dollar might crash. And when it does, we may find a hard time servicing our debt, the interest on our debt, and making, even funding our military. Funding all the social programs we're funding today will be a challenge. The United States is going to be in a great world of hurt. It may get to the point it can't borrow money. And it might be that the only money it's got is what's coming in. And our economy might contract quite a bit. So there will be less coming in than there is today. Right now, we're spending way more. The budget is ballooning, but the income is shrinking. It's getting to be a top-heavy pyramid, upside down, what we're spending versus what we're bringing in. That's a prescription for disaster, and it may come sooner rather than later. And that might be something they're banking on, that and the distractions we're having in Europe. they might want to take advantage to make a move while that's still going. In fact, they might prod Putin to do something to make us a little bit more distracted. So there's all these things that might happen, but a good time, for them might be a transition period, like right after the election. Of course, right after the election, the C states aren't that good. So they might do it before the election and just realize it, hope that they have it all their stuff done before the new administration could take office. Now, I will make the case that it might be that the current administration might prefer all this stuff to actually happen before the election takes place, well before the election, because we have a tendency, and this may be another reason for them to do it. This may be another reason for them to do it. The United States don't change horses in the middle of a war. And the state that's known to be down, not so shallow, but the other, a lot further down, yeah, they want to stay in power. And there's certain other candidates who would like to clean house. So maybe they're all pushing for this. Maybe, it seems like everybody wants war. Maybe they want war with Russia. Maybe they want war with China. Maybe they want all of the above, just to keep their power base with the hopes that it don't go radioactive. But it might. And maybe they're okay with it. They got their bunkers. Maybe they're okay with it. They talk, what did Deagle report say about 2025, where we're going to be? I hope that's wrong. I hope that is way wrong. But guys, and who knows? We've got a lot of challenges. Of course, there's those that talk about depopulation a lot, right? And who are some of those people that talk about it so much? Let me enable the chat room. This is going to be different than my normal live sessions. So we're live. For those watching later, I'm not going to cover all the news. We're just going to talk about this. I hope I got the volume turned on here. I'm going to make sure. Hang on. Oops, I do. Turn that off, and I'm going to go live here. Hang on, guys. I'm going to look at our chat room. So here we are. I'm going to share Google Earth to give you a clue what we're talking about. Now, this isn't my normal night to be live. I normally go live Wednesday night, but I got to get real early Thursday morning. I'm doing an interview Thursday morning, a radio interview, and I got to get real early for that. So I'm not going to go live tomorrow night. Here, bing. It's the wrong thing, guys. Pardon me. That was not what I wanted to share. What I want to share is Google Earth. Let's share screen again. Pardon me, guys. Here we go. Yeah. So there we are. Thank you, folks. So let's see here. This is the islands here that China is taken in the Spratly Islands area. You can see the, let me zoom in here. China has taken, their 9-dash line. They've been setting up bases all in down here. We'll look at them closer in just a minute. All up in here, they've got this South China Sea full of military bases. Some are more developed than others, and some of them are still developing. They just developed a brand new barge that's twice, a dredging ship that's twice as powerful as the one they've been using. So that indicates they're going to do a lot more. They're destroying these reefs. They're just piling sand on top of reefs. Reefs are the biological backbone of a fishery out here in the sea. So they're really messing everything up. They're destroying the environment. They care not for that. They care more about their stuff. But anyway, so what the case is this. We have bases. I think we have up to 90 military bases up here in Japan. I've got a few of them pinpointed here. We've got 15 in South Korea. We got about 52,000 troops in Japan. That includes down here in Okinawa, which is really close. And we've got, I think, 28,500 troops in South Korea with about 15 bases. I pinned the main base there. And we got 3 or 4 bases over here in Guam. I pinned a couple of them, the Navy and the Air Force base. We'll zoom in closer to them all here in a minute. But, China decided to declare this 9-dash line, claiming they own all this territory here and all these islands, which goes against the UNCLOS Law of the Sea Treaty, which basically says that nations have so much rights to certain areas so far out. So a lot of these islands by the UNCLOS Treaty, which China signed, by the way, and the United States didn't sign. I was one of the guys pushing against the United States signing that because it had implications for property rights in space. And the United States has not signed it. So you can have effectivity, guys, in some major things. Our little L5 society years ago stopped the United States from signing the Moon Treaty, which we wouldn't have been able to do anything on the moon if we'd have signed that. But in any event, so let's zoom in here a little closer. What China's ambition, they're trying to have defenses through here where they can get through. This is where they get 70 to 75% of their oil out here through the Mid East, and it all comes to this Malacca Strait right here. Let me zoom in. This is where most of their oil goes through this strait right here. It's a long distance they got to traverse, and it gets real narrow right here. There's very narrow, tight channels for them to traverse right here. Go in here and look. Right here, the passageways are very tight. Check this out, guys. It'd be easy to pick their ships off, parking a submarine out here or some other naval ships and taking their assets out that want to come through here if they chose to try to do that, because very narrow straits here. This water isn't all that great here. I think most of it comes right through here. And you can see that the navigation is they basically got to come around right here and then come up through here. It's just a few miles. Go in here, you can see they got shoals right here. You can't really go through there, and that's not really good. So it's mostly right here. If you look at the good waterways right there, you can figure it's like, I mean, that's the channel right there. At most, there's probably 2.83 miles. That's tight. This is a heavy shipping channel, 2.83 miles. That is super duper tight, guys. But once they get through there, they still got to pass through the rest of this strait, which is a long way to get through, you know, all the way out to here. That is something in the order of 659, maybe 660 miles, in which they're really vulnerable through this whole passage. Now they might be able to get through down here, but this is also an easy choke point to seal off. They don't go through here right now because it's a longer distance to get around these islands if they go through. So the shipping is not currently going through it, but they might try. But this is also easy to seal off because this is, you know, about, you know, they only got 13.5 miles there. And incidentally, this is guarded by Krakatoa. Yeah, whoop, went the wrong way. Krakatoa is just right out here. See, Krakatoa. This big volcano. It blew this whole island up once, right? Yeah, that guards this strait. And it's pretty active right now. Who knows, it may blow again. But they could, you know, possibly come through here, but that's also easy to block. I mean, you got here a channel of vulnerability that is something on the order of 78.7, you know, almost 80 miles of vulnerability right here. Actually be a little more than that. So your shipping would be very vulnerable coming through here or any other place they might try to get out in this direction and go get that oil. 70 to 75% of their oil comes through, not this strait, but it could. It goes this way. Come around here and it go up. And a lot of their other trade, a lot of the grain they get, anything they're getting from Europe, the Mid East, comes through here. Their exports to Europe, to Africa, Mid East. There's so much trade that goes through here, but there's also a lot of our trade. Actually, 14% of our trade, the United States trade, goes through the South China Sea. What China is talking about doing is shutting this whole sea down. And they're talking about starting with the Strait of Taiwan, but then shutting all this down and forcing you to get approval to transit this, because they're claiming this is their sovereign territory. That's why the United States likes to navigate this, because that doesn't comport with international law as it's been recognized. So Let's look at some of the islands they built up, and then we'll look at what we've got out here. This fiery cross. This is an interesting one. We'll look at some of their bases. Now these were all just shallow areas under the sea, and they built them up. See, this is what you'd consider a unsinkable aircraft carrier. But here's another reason they might want to move center. These islands are actually sinking. I'm sure they would keep trying to dredge to build them up, but these are actually some of their buildings are crumbling now, and some of this is actually sinking, just kind of like, you know, Manhattan. Because this isn't, you know, the earth, all this stuff they pile up is not all that stable, and it's there in the sea. And so this is not, these islands they built aren't really that stable. Over time, they're going to have huge issues with them. Now look at that big runway there. And they got a huge naval base here and an air base here. If you go in and look a little closer, they got a lot of stuff on here. Even some recreation stuff for their troops. They got a lot of missiles. There's a radar. Another radar. They got a lot of missile sites on these bases. Yeah, all these missiles, they got the Dongfang 21, the Dongfang 26. The Dongfang 21's got a range of 1,100 miles. The Dongfang 26 has a range of 2,500 miles. So this gives them more reach way past Guam for the Dongfang 26. All right, that's fiery cross. Let's go look at some of these other ones. Let's go look at Mischief. That's a good name, right? Mischief. It is Mischief. They got a couple of bases here in Mischief Atoll. They got this naval base here. Samuel Turner, thank you, sir. This harbor. It's like a radar over here. What they got over here? Is this missiles? I don't know what that is. It's kind of like aircraft. I don't see a runway for it. Got a ship in here though. Well, that's on the ship though. But they got a big Simon Turner, thanks for briefing on China. I think they go no later than November. I think they will hit Taiwan, Japan, Guam, Okinawa, maybe Pearl Harbor in one massive attack. Yeah, that's what a lot of people think. They want to neutralize us from responding. They won't entirely neutralize us, but it certainly slow us down. So this is their main base here at Mischief. So they got a lot of stuff built in here. They got a lot of ships. Looks like these are probably dredging operation ships. But look at this runway here, guys. Huge runway. Got a lot longer than what you get on an aircraft carrier. So yeah, they can fly all kind of aircraft in and out here. So yeah, unsinkable aircraft carrier and then some. Put a racetrack on every base. That'd probably be for running for their troops. I always hated running on the track, but you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff here on this island. They built all this up too. It's like an air traffic control tower, maybe. What is that? There's another little port they've got in here. They're probably still building stuff. They're not done. Whatever they're building there, they're still building. Now that's their little sports center. See some tennis courts or something there. But all this stuff, guys. Huge base here. Warehouses. I don't know what all this stuff is, guys. Oh. Interesting. A lot of stuff here. Hey, Southern Homestead. That's a crane they're using now. They're still building this. All this stuff's still under construction. Yeah, they got something covered up under tarps. That's probably aircraft. I don't know. Lots of stuff here. Let's zoom out. My phone is not working appropriately. I have both high IQs. Oops, not really. I just wanted to hear. All right, let's go back out. Well, what you can see here is they got a lot of bases out in here. And they're building more, and I haven't pinned everything that says. There's some helicopter bases up here I was finding I didn't pin. And I don't know how actual current these photographs are. And some places, like there was bases, it's kind of blurred out here. It's hard to see some of this stuff, and that's, you know, you can thank Google Earth for some of that. I wonder if they intentionally blurring some of this stuff out. I don't know. All kind of bases up here. Hainan Island, you know, they got their balloon launch facility over here on Hainan. One of their balloon launch facilities over on Hainan Island. That's their research balloon facility. Parcel Islands, there's a lot of bases in here, guys. So they're building more, and a great new, more dredges to do even more of this stuff, guys. So but it's really wrecking the environment. They're wrecking those reefs. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to position forward power so they can maintain their forces to go through this strait. That's what a lot of this is all about. It's about trade. It's about they're trying to ensure that they can get through here, but they'd only have to do that if they're planning a war. Because in peacetime, they wouldn't have anything to worry about. But see, if you go back here and look at it, this is the first island chain. It's Japan, all these islands down through here, Taiwan, the Philippines, Borneo, Java, Malaysia, all these islands in here is part of their chain, guys. So now what you need to know is this. We are right now, we got like 5 bases that we're using on the Philippines, and we're about to build 4 more. 3 of them are going to be up here in Luzon, which gets us closer to Taiwan. And I'm going to show you one of them. You know, some of them, there's nothing there at all. But I'm going to show you the one where it says, well, they got this base. I'm going to show you the state of this base here. So you'll see why we're not ready yet. And this may be why they want to hit sooner rather than later. Another reason. Yeah, their islands are sinking. They got plenty of reasons to want to hit sooner. I'm not saying they will. It's a great cost to make an invasion like that, especially if you don't have all your ducks in a row. But they want to do it before we get all our ducks in a row. Maybe. Like I said, they may want to go when they got the Joe they know, rather than somebody they don't know. This is one of the bases that we are supposedly going to use. But now when you go in and look at it, it's in the terrible state of repair. The runway looks terrible. This runway don't look like you'd want to fly anything on maybe a bush pilot. This runway's in terrible shape. This place is in a huge state of disrepair. I think it's got stuff growing on it. It's all broken up. It totally needs to be repaved. And you can look at the edges of it. This runway looks like dog, you know what. This runway looks awful. You got a helicopter pad right in the middle of the runway, probably because that's the only thing they're landing in and out of there right now is helicopters. This runway looks horrible. Everything here in this base is in disrepair. There's not a whole lot of barracks. They don't look all that, they look like shacks. There's a couple of new buildings. Here's some new buildings. Those don't look all that great. Fishing village down here. A lot of this stuff is just shanty shacks. This is the civilian community here up here. This is the so-called naval base right here. This is their Camilio, I can pronounce that. That's their naval base. But what they got here, all they got is these little fishing vessels. You know, the ones that's got, you know, the little stabilizers out to the side, like, you know, you might see the islanders using. Just fishing vessels, guys. That's their so-called naval base. It's more of a fishing. You got the nice store here. Yeah. Not much to brag about there right now. Nothing to brag about. Nothing ready to go. That's not ready to use. It's going to take some work to get that one in place. And I think the other so-called base, I can't find anything else here that looks even that good on this island. So there you are, my friends. That's why China might want to move sooner rather than later, because we're planning to put 3 bases up here on this island, and one of them is going to go right there. And it's not ready, and neither the others. This puts us within a pretty good striking range to be able to help out with Taiwan should something happen. Now, the Japanese have got a couple bases in here. The closest base is this little base up here. The Japanese Ground Defense Force is what it's called. This don't have any Americans on it, but it's not a big base, but it's real close to Taiwan. And I would expect Japan would want to weigh in on the side of Taiwan. They might not go it alone if the United States don't chime in. See, they got a port here. Not a lot in it, but that's a fishing boat. That might be a little patrol boat there, or a supply boat, but it's like, could be a patrol boat. Yeah, these are commercial vessel. That's a fishing recreational vessel. That is not a military vessel. Not much in here looking too military. This is part of the Okinawa prefecture, by the way. All these islands down here are part of the Okinawa prefecture. Now, we do have forces on the Okinawa island, but it's not this close. There's another little base up here. It's even tinier. I can't make much out about it. I'll put a question mark on it. Pretty good sized little base here, but it's got a lot of commercial use. It may be totally commercial. It looks like it'd make a decent naval base. It's hard to make out what kind of ships they got in here. Not a clear picture. That's a good sized ship, but it looks like a commercial ship of some type. So I'll put a question mark on that one. There's an airfield on this island, but it's a civilian airfield. That's a civilian airfield right there. You can tell because they got walkways to where the airplanes come in, like any commercial airport. All right. Our troops are up here at Okinawa. We got about 3 bases. We got a naval base, a Marine Corps base, and an air base on Okinawa. These are the closest bases that the United States has right now that are operable. They're not huge bases, but they're bases. You can expect the Dongfeng 21s and 26s will be hitting here right off the bat. So close, they're going to be big targets. Well, they got a commercial, they got a hotel there. So this is kind of a mixed commercial, maybe dual purpose military harbor. But we do have a naval base right in here. Iron Man, Jim, or what? No, it's not Iron Man. What is that? Iota, I don't know what that is. Zoom out here. There's a Marine Corps base up here. It's a Marine Air Base. It's got some helicopters, Ospreys, a bunch of Ospreys on it, and some helicopters. It's definitely a military base. That's a Marine base. I almost tell by the hangars. We got this air base up here. This is a military base. You can see some jet fighters in here. Yep, got some fighter jets in here. Transports. That's our closest military bases to Taiwan right now. Now we'll have some closer when we get in here. That base is nothing right now. It's nothing. It's total disrepair. Guam is way over here. Guam is a good distance off from, take it from Taiwan. Guam. 1,662 miles. It's still in range of the Dongfeng missile. So if they launch Dongfeng missiles, and you gotta remember Dongfeng 26s are, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Cancel that. Dongfeng 26s have a range of 2,500 miles. So they could definitely overshoot Guam. So that's only 1849. That's why they call it a Guam killer. Now, if you want to see what we got in Guam, we got about 7,000 American servicemen on Guam. Guam is U.S. territory. Everybody on Guam is U.S. citizen. This is United States territory. This is there's also a Marine Corps base here. I didn't highlight it. Here's the naval base. It's a pretty good sized base, guys. This is our naval base. It's pretty good size. Then we got Anderson Air Force Base back up here on the other side. The island. That's their international airport. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Thank you. There we go. Here's Anderson Air Force Base right here. Show some aircraft. I saw some earlier somewhere. Anyway. Guam, it takes some time to mobilize from Guam, and Guam's going to get hit pretty hard early on in the war. See, what we're trying to do is get anti-missile defense systems put in place here, and they're not there yet. That's another reason that China might want to move sooner rather than later. Of course, we got a lot of bases up here in Japan. And we got this base over here. That's our bit. We got like 15 bases in South Korea. That's our largest one right here. Of course, these troops are really got to somewhat stay here to guard against North Korea coming across. We've only got 28,500 troops in South Korea. Of course, South Korea's got their army, and North Korea's got 1 million troops or something. So North Korea's got a huge army. So I don't know if we could pull too many troops out here. We might take planes out to assist down here. But we got to kind of maintain some defense on Guam, even if we move again. On South Korea, even if we move against China. Now, I don't ever think we're going to invade China, because just China's just too big. We got too many troops. It would be futile to try to take China militarily. But that said, if I were president of the United States, I would call up Xi Jinping and I would say, hey, Ping, if you activate your sleeper cells in America or strike America directly in case we have a war, I got a W-80 nuclear warhead on a Tomahawk cruise missile. It's got a range of 1,100 miles. So all I got to be is somewhere out here where there are bases. I can be somewhere out here in a submarine. I can launch that. And that Tomahawk missile has got 3 gorges down written on it. So if you mess with me, I'm going to take out 3 gorges down. Now, 3 gorges down gets taken out. It's going to flood all the way down through here. It's going to take out Wuhan. There's a lot of cities in this river that would be taken out. And it goes all the way to Shanghai, not Shanghai. It goes all the way to, yeah, I think it is. That river will take out a lot of cities along the way, all the way to Shanghai. That's right. So it would be devastating to China. Plus, it would take out a lot of their power. They can't get oil. Plus, they lose that much of the electric power. China would be in a world hurt, and it would take out a lot of their crops, and cities, and factories, and ports. God knows what else. So I'd say, Xi Jinping, don't mess with me. So the United States is off limits. That's what I tell them. I say, you know, you attack me here in the homeland, or if you activate your sleeper cells that are here, 3 gorges down, you can kiss it goodbye. That's what I tell them. I just call them up and say, don't mess with me. We need a president that's got a pair. I can't see Joe say anything like that. Can y'all see that Joe say anything like that? Oh, I can't. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to keep. What's going on? C-stands along. So that's it in a nutshell. China needs to be able to get through here. In the war, we could, as long as we control this first island chain, we could bottle them in. We don't totally control it right now with their missiles and all these bases down here. They got a chance of getting out and getting through. But once we get these bases in up here, they would be a lot more. They'll have a harder time taking Taiwan and also getting through here, as we would be able to strike at a lot of this stuff a lot easier once we get set up in the Philippines. Some of our bases would be aimed at taking these islands out. That's why we got so many down in here. We already got 5 down in here. We're going to put 1 more down here somewhere, and 3 up here on Luzon Island. Right now, it doesn't look like we have anything on Luzon Island. That's Luzon Island. One right here at the tippy tip top, which don't have anything there now worth spitting at. That's the best developed base, but you can see it's really rough. It's undeveloped. So that's what this boils down to, guys. In a nutshell, we are on the verge of being able to have a ring around this first island chain. And there's just a few chinks that we're trying to plug right now vis-a-vis the Philippines. But we don't have that accomplished yet. And we don't have the missile defense forces to be able to fully defend Guam. Maybe we'd put some in Okinawa, but they're not all set up yet. So that might be why China would want to move sooner rather than later. Also, Xi Jinping is not getting any younger. He's got his election too. So he wants this to happen. He really wants this to happen on his watch. He wants to go down history as having taken Taiwan. But of course, they could fail. It's a risky proposition for them. They still got to cross this 100-mile strait here. And all the ships crossing that strait are going to be good targets, because Taiwan does have a lot of anti-ship missiles. So you expect the first thing China would do would be just pummel Taiwan with missiles before they would launch their amphibious invasion and try to take out the anti-ship missiles first and foremost. But I'm assuming a lot of that stuff is underground. Taiwan's got a lot of their aircraft underground. Taiwan's no fool. Taiwan's been preparing for China to invade them for 70 years. So unlike Ukraine, which just started getting ready in 2014 to deal with Russia, Taiwan's had a lot longer to prepare. And there is a strait. Of course, Taiwan's not as big as Ukraine, but it's mountainous. It will be very hard, even if the Chinese land in Taiwan, to work their way through this mountainous island is going to be a real challenge for them, because they're going to meet some stiff resistance. And while they're trying to work their way through here, the United States might recover from having been hit so hard that they might come in. Now you might ask, why would the United States defend Taiwan? Well, for one, Taiwan makes 90% of the top, nanometer type chips, the high-end chips that are required for so many of our systems, and our economy is so dependent on that. This whole region, a lot of our trade goes here, but more than anything else, it's got to do with our allies. If we don't defend Taiwan, Japan and South Korea just aren't going to trust that we're going to defend them either. And they may pull away. The same for Australia, New Zealand, anybody that's an ally of the United States. If we don't defend Taiwan, they said that they're going to pull away. They might even, out of fear, just cut deals with China. But for Japan, that would be a kiss of death. If Japan, see, all these countries got their trade going through here too. And if China can bottle up this strait here, take this island, nobody can make passage through here without getting approval from China. And if you're on bad side with China, they might say, no, you ain't going to have any more trade, or they might charge a high tariff, a high fee of passage. China also wants the rights to board any ship that goes through here, any and all of them, board them. And we can already see they might decide to take some of them, kind of like Iran's doing, season tankers right now, and just season them, attacking them and season them. Maybe China would take on tactics like that, because they're already harassing fishing vessels of the Philippines. So, it's kind of crazy how they've been harassing the Philippine fishing vessels and taking Philippine territory, yet they got offended when Philippines decided, hey, we had enough of it, and they were going to side with the United States. It's one reason Marcos is now, the son of the original Ferdinand. His son now is president of the Philippines, because people there got tired of China doesn't care about people. But if China would stop spending anything to the United States, the U.S. would bet Biden would surrender. Yeah, he might. Who knows? Then again, maybe he would be just happy to see our forces taken out too. That's why I said, is Taiwan a trap? We got to make sure we're not in a trap. And the thing that I worry about is that China might improve the accuracy of their strikes on our carriers with balloon reconnaissance, by putting balloons up at altitudes that's beyond the range of a lot of our weapon systems. Yeah, some of the SM-3s and 6s and stuff that our ships have on board could take those balloons out. But then again, they're going to be busy trying to take out missiles that's coming at them directly. So the idea is that China believes they got enough missiles to saturate the missiles that are anti-missiles that our ships have, the Aegises and the SM series missiles, SM-3s, 6s, and that various stuff. I've talked about that in a previous video. They believe they can saturate that, and take out our carriers. That's why our carriers need to be like way out here to not get hit by the DF-26. They need to be way out here. But to be effective, to get our F-35s in, they got to be like right here. I did a whole video talking about that, guys. They need to be right here. Even with refuel, even with, if we can have the KC-135s refuel them, they still got to be right here. If they don't, they got to be even closer. I covered that in another video. So there we are. In a nutshell, that's a big part of why China may go sooner rather than later. It's the missiles that we will put in to defend our islands, which might make theirs not as effective, which we don't have enough there now because China has so many DF-21s and 26s. It's because the bases that we're going to put in there that might contain them aren't developed yet, and because they might rather go with a Joe they know if they're going to give us a blow. So there you go, guys. That's some of the reasons. And like I said, also, you know, Xi Jinping would like to settle this matter on his watch. So it might be that he'd move sooner. I'm not going to say he will. It's a great risk. If he fails, his whole government could crumble, possibly. Possibly. If they do have very tight control on their people. You got to realize China has more internal police than they do military, because they got to control their own people. They're worried about control their people. So they got a lot more internal police than they have military. I'll share a couple of things. We're going to go here in a minute. Well, I'll share a few. We're not going to go through all the news. We will look at earthquakes and a couple of things. So there's been a lot of earthquake activity. I don't want to invest in Taiwan Semiconductor Corporation when China decides to take Taiwan. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you there, Ability Kid. Arnold says, to me, you'll always be my, oh, Cha-Cha. What's going on, Cha-Cha? Senator Biden will not say anything to China except I can have another bribe. Yeah, it may be. He's been on the take. So, you know, what's that going to do for us right now? Oh, yeah. All right, so I'll go through the chat session here in a little bit. All right, I'll look through y'all's chats here in a little bit. So anyway, guys, Sun Tzu, best war one is the one not fought. Yeah, they want to try to use economic pressure and everything else. They're going to crash our dollar if they can. We are in an economic war. If you don't believe that, then why is BRICS doing what they're doing? We are in an economic war with China. We have been for some time. We just didn't know it. The ploy from Deng Xiaoping way back when he opened China up, they had the philosophy. It was let's trade and be open now. Once we get our military built up, then we'll switch. And that's exactly what they've done. You know, Walmart opened up to import everything from China. So we spent a lot of money buying cheap junk from over there. And they used all that money to build, and the most favored trading status, thanks to Billy Clinton, build their military. So let's go look at some other stuff here real quick. Share screen. Here we are, guys. The U.S. national debt clock. Our gross national product is right here. U.S. gross domestic product, $26 trillion, but we owe national debt $32 trillion. So our debt to GDP ratio back when I was born was 52.65%. In 1980, it was 34.64%. Went up a little bit in the year 2000. Everybody was complaining about where we're, but look where we're at now. We've more than doubled it. We have more than doubled it. How far can we keep doing this? Friends, how far can we keep doing this? This is insane. If you go through and look at these numbers, oops, go there. Unclick that. Ah, shoot. click on something else, I'll turn. There we go. Right now, this is what we're spending on defense, war. The national debt's almost caught up to what we spent on defense. It's going to get higher. No, the interest on the national debt. This will get higher as interest rates go up and we get more debt. This will eventually surpass what we're spending on defense. It's projected to go up quite a bit. As our debt goes up, this goes up. We keep piling on more debt. This is going to go higher and higher and higher. Interest per adult, $14,580 per adult. Are you happy with that? That's the kind of interest that you're going to be accountable for? Oh yeah. I've got intel that the CBD thing is going to be ticked with other trading systems too. Other, what do you call it? I forget the word off the bat. But anyway, there's other means of cashless systems out there. They're setting them all up to be transparent and work with the CBD, central bank digital currencies. And it's also, they're setting this stuff up where they will even be able to account for your assets, not just the money you got in the bank, the stuff you supposedly own. They're going to digitize all that, put it all in the system. So it'll be literally, you'll own nothing. And they'll fix it, I suppose, where they could seize anything they want to, especially they might claim it's part of our debt. That may be how they try to monetize the debt, is against the stuff you own. So who knows what's coming, guys. The money supply is still falling though. Isn't that interesting? What's it going to do when there's no countries trading in dollars? Alrighty, folks. Just wanted you to see that. Oh yeah, by the way, some of my videos are really underperforming. That gray line is where I normally be. This crop video I just did underperformed quite a bit. So if you guys, what I'm hearing from so many of you, I just talked with Joe Decker today. He told me he's not getting any notices. I talked to him on the phone. Several of you have been telling me this, that you're not getting notifications. Do make sure you subscribe and the bell's clicked, but you got to check back on my channel a lot. But look what my views have done. They've dropped like a rock. I've been putting out 2 videos a day, but it seems like the platform has slammed the brakes on me. My views are dropping. So I really could use some help, guys. Share my videos as much as you can. I've been doing too much work to see my channel just basically come to an end. And it looks like they're trying to really stomp on me real hard. And I don't know, I can't really keep up at the rate I've been going here. I've been putting out a lot of videos, a lot of work. So you guys help me out. I need all the help I can get. And I could use some more thumbs up. We got 150 in the room and only 96 thumbs up. I need some more help with the rhythms that have no Al Gore, whatever. So y'all can help me out with that. Give me some thumbs up, folks. All right, let's look at weather. We just had some big storms come through earlier today. We had a bunch of trees blown over. There were some power poles blown over, and I lost power for a few hours. And then red lights and stuff all through the community was out into Huntsville and Madison, Alabama. Fortunately, all this stuff is gone right now. But we had some major storms here earlier. Assuming there's probably some up in here. It's cooled down, thankfully. It's been really hot. We'll start in Maine. Some of y'all's flooding has moved offshore now that we're having up in the Northeast. Still getting some there. Holton at 68, 68 in Lincoln. Bangor 68, Farmington 66, Portland 68. Boston 70. Once the U.S. dollar is not a world country, we'll be in a fifth world country. Yeah, the government will be where they can only spend the money they're taking in. And we're taking in less. You tax more, you'll wipe out the revenue base more, and you'll probably get even less again. Oh yeah, if you tax, I can go back here, guys. If you taxed all the million, if you took $1 million from every millionaire, you still couldn't pay our national debt. We got like 22,000 millionaires. That's in there somewhere. Tells you how many millionaires there are in the United States. It's all in here. Let's go to U.S. debt clock.org. And you can look at this and analyze it yourself. How much of the debt, personal debt. Oh yeah, this also covers all the debt in the United States. This is government, personal, and corporate. $101 trillion. Wow. I think the total assets of America is like 126 trillion, including all the land and everything. So our debt almost equals the assets of the country. Our gross national product's only 26 trillion. The debt is crazy. Hey, Lee's in the house. Michelle, Colorado Jan, good to see you. Lizzie may be dizzy. 82, huh? Wow. There's Ace Lee. Is US going to ban Bitcoin? I have no idea. They're trying to find, there are a few of those coins that actually are connected where they can set them up into the CBDCs. I don't think Bitcoin is not one of them right now. All right, so you can look through and see where all these numbers, guys. There's a lot of interesting data here. But the debt picture is scary, very scary. All right, let's go back here. Whew. Dallas 89, Houston 82. It's cooled off in Texas. Phoenix is still 104. Las Vegas is 98, but Los Angeles is 70. San Jose, nice cool 64. Flagstaff is 71. Holbrook is 86. Wow, it's pretty warm there. Snowflake is 79. Still warmer in Snowflake than it is here. We just cooled down. It was hot today. The power went out. I had to leave the house without a fan. I couldn't stand it. I had to get out of the house. It's got too hot. Couldn't handle it. Slick, Salt Lake City, 77. Chewy weather up in your territory. Eugene, 68. Bend, 70. Portland, 70. Tim Santori, so he's not in here. He'd be here if he saw the notification. I talked to him on the phone today. He said he gets no notification. Hey, Eric, how you doing, buddy? Robert Hodges, I recommend the Ross Perot Al Gore interview on Larry King in 1992. Huh? Oh, C standalone. Have you watched Canadian Prepper? He and Dean from, oh yeah, he built that tiny home. That was pretty cool. They built that thing in like, what, 4 or 5 days? It took me years to build my log barn. That thing went together fast. Only 15,000. That's, you know, for the kit. That's not a bad deal, guys. All right, up here in Alberta, where Arnold's at, you got some 50s. Calgary's 53. Red Deer 53. Slave Lake. So is that what's starting all the fires? That don't look too hot to me. I think it's a drought. I tell you what, guys. Yeah, we got some of that smoke down here. We got some of that haze from that Canadian wildfire smoke even here now. How comes this thing not wanting to scroll? It's hung up on me. Up to Alaska. Fairbanks is 71. Delta Junction, 66 degrees. Palmer, 57. Anchorage, 59. Valdez, 55. Pretty cool on the coast. Nome, 52. And you got, it'd be daylight up here right now. Whoops. Barrow's 52. Okay, it's warmed up. Rainwright's 48. Dead Horse, 46. Heat wave up in Barrow. Bet they're liking that. Oh, what happened there? Freaking out on me. We got any Australians in the house tonight? We usually do. Sholo was upper 90s with scattered showers, about 7,000 foot elevation. Wow, Jesse. It's pretty warm for Sholo. Pretty warm. I think the record temperature in Snowflake is 104. We're telling me it's 100 there the other day. Got a storm off Japan. A lot of rain in this part of China. Maybe this is breaking some of their droughts. That's usually dry out here. But it may be too late. A lot of the crops should be making already. All right, it's wintertime down here. A lot of snow in the Antarctic region. It's Australia from up here. This is close to the equator. Darwin is 86. Weipa, I don't know how to pronounce that, is 88. Sydney is 57. The capital city of Canberra is 46 degrees. Same as Hobart, 46. Perth, 57. It's wintertime. There's some storms down here on New Zealand. 48 here. Christchurch is 52. There's a lot of 50s in New Zealand. Not bad. I suppose it's toward the end of the day. This is when you expect to see it to be hotted up even more, right? Diamond's wife, how you doing? Calling that night, Jesse. We're going to look at earthquakes. I'm looking at the earthquake map. We're going to go here. Look, there's been a lot of earthquakes here around the West Coast. Some really big ones, like off of this one, guys. El Salvador, 6.5. 6.5 off El Salvador. We've had two of them there in El Salvador. We had another one. Aftershock was 5.0. Right here in the Pacific, 5.2. Mexico, 5.6. Now let's go. How do you say that? That's some pretty good numbers. 4.1 there. 3.0 there in Bell, California. What's this? Kenai Peninsula, 3.1. 4.0 South Alaska. Yeah, they got a volcano up there that I think it might go off. 4.4. Yeah, so this is the big earthquake center right now. Oh, what is this off the east coast of Texas? 3.2. Pleasant, Pleasanton, Texas. What is this, Romania? 4.0 in Romania. Okay. Check up in that off Kamchatka. This is in the islands up here. 4.3. Real. Used to belong to Japan. Russia took them. All right, guys, we got a lot of earthquake activity right here. A lot of earthquake activity. Samuel Turner, $50. Wow, Greg, you're temporarily stressed out. Have a nice lunch on me tomorrow, followed by a stiff drink. And to me, stiff as coffee. Samuel Turner, salute. Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. That is the best chat in a long time. Appreciate it. Kojak had no hear. Why you hear sound of what? Dead? I don't know. Yeah, Samuel, appreciate that, man. You are awesome. So there we go, guys. Let's look at space weather. We're going to call it a night. CME coming. The NOAA said confirmed that a CME will probably graze Earth's magnetosphere on the 20th of July. Came from the M6 flare eruption. All right, guys. We're looking at some of the stuff on the far side of the sun. They got some ways of looking at that. The sun has got a lot of sunspots. But look at this, guys. These sunspots are beginning to migrate toward the equator of the sun. You see this one here? This is indicating that we are indeed reaching solar maximum early. Once you get to the equator, that's pretty much solar maximum. Now, if I see this one so close to the equator, I got to agree with what they've been saying. The other day when we looked, I didn't see any this close. But now we're seeing that. We're probably getting really close to solar maximum. So maybe we'll get this over with. But having such a short cycle, what does that mean? We may have a two-peak cycle too, though. That's kind of what this is ramped up so fast. I think we'll see a two-peaker, most likely. Because that's been pretty typical lately. That's not what they're talking about. I haven't heard anybody else say that, so you got it from Green Griggs first. Aurora not so strong at the moment, but You get a lot stronger. Asteroids. Remember when it was on here, the live session before last, this one that wasn't even on the chart. And when we come in the last time, a couple nights ago, this showed up as already having missed us. And it turns out they did indeed see this asteroid 2 days after it passed by. This is a big one, 35 meters. That's larger than a football field. And it's traveling pretty fast at 11.3 kilometers a second. And it passed a third of the way between the Earth and Moon, just outside our geosynchronous satellites, guys. So that's a oops. That, you know, that means that, you know, we could still have a city buster hit us without us even seeing it. One day a city could just go boom. With all the tensions going on right now, if that happened in Russia, the United States, or in the theater of what's going on in Europe, could that spark a nuclear war? Could it be totally misconstrued what happened? I don't know, guys, especially if you don't see it coming. You're not expecting it, and then something goes boom. Let's hope not, but we're on a hair trigger right now. It's not good. The cosmic rays are way down. When the cosmic rays go down, heat goes up. Now we're having cosmic rays down, solar maximum, and El Nino cycle at the same time. So it's no surprise we got warm weather. Really hot weather. All right, guys, enough of that. We've been going now for 66 minutes. All right, so Zenjamin. All right, guys. I'll check the chat room real fast. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, one more time. Finally got me a little gold back here. These are foldable. You can put them in your wallet. This one cost me, receipt here, $3.57. So this ain't a bank breaker. Get some real gold. That's what I said. You could actually trade this stuff for bread. This is a one note. You could buy small stuff. Now, to really make it worthwhile, if you're buying a bunch, you'd be better to buy a bunch of these because the shipping cost me more than the bill. But yeah, so it comes out ahead if you buy several of these. But given where our money is going, being devalued, given the prospects for CBDCs, so they want to be able to track everything you spend. But you know what? They can't track this. My dollar bill might become worthless. This thing might become worthless. That's what they want to do. They want to make it where you don't have any more of these. You won't trade them. Maybe another reason to crash the dollar. He's using a software program that allows them to pinpoint the ground temperatures from satellite. Who's that, Arnold? Eric, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, go to check my links. Use my link to Defy the Grid. I'll put the link in the video later. You can see it in a lot of my other videos. I may take this video off for a little bit. I got some more work to do on this video, but these are cute. I mean, if you look at it, they're artwork. It's artwork. That's not focusing. Good. There we go. Well, it actually looks better in person. That bright light shining up kind of drowns it out. It's real pretty. It's got some nice artwork. Oh, I'm showing the backside. No wonder. Check this out, guys. Very artistic. It is a piece of art. So it's almost a collector's item because there's only, you know, they only make so many of these, and they'll change them up. They'll change the design on them every so often. So this is 1/1000th of a troy ounce. So for how many thousandths, that's what they denominate them at. It's in troy ounces. They're denominated in how many thousandths of a troy ounce, which makes these spendable. Unlike you know, if you get a bar, you can, if you go to defythegrid.com, you can use my link though, with my code. That will help me out. I'm gonna try to get a discount code for you guys. I think if you put ring graders in, you still might get 1% off. But they redone their system, so I got to call them up to make sure of that. But these are cool because one, they're pretty, they're spendable, they're more fungible. You might say, whatever it is, the word you use. You know, you got a gold bar. It's kind of hard to shave off the right amount, and then you got it shaved off or whatever. But these are easier to deal with. And there are already stores and a lot of places that are taking these. So covered that in a couple of videos in the past. But you know, this is something we could barter amongst ourselves, especially with set up our tribe networks, guys. Especially when you don't want to use these guys, or these are totally worthless. This is never worthless because it's always got gold. This will never be worthless. And I'm expecting once that the bricks go to gold backed currency, the demand on gold is going to go way up. So the price of gold will probably go up at that point. Hey, Jojo. What is that, Greg? Is that gold? It is gold. It is gold. It cost me like, what did I say? Cost me a whopping $3.57. It's 1/1000th of a troy ounce. But it's got a lot of value just because of the way it's made, the process it's made in. This is a high-tech process. They're the only ones doing this, guys. By the grid. They come up with this technology to make them in this in the bill. And, so you can put it in your wallet along with where you keep other cash. Eventually, you might not even have other cash because it's probably going to be worthless. They don't want you. They don't want us having anything like this. They want everything to be digital, and they'll totally control it. There you go, booger dog. Will the silverback dollar be worthless? I don't know if they'll still. I don't think they even honor those today. I don't think you can take them and get silver. But if you got a silver coin, that is still worth the price of silver. It's called junk silver. I got a little bit of that. Been collecting silver coins. You know, if you ever putting change in, put a bill in like a snack machine, and you hear the coins tick, clink down the bottom. A silver coin sounds different. I noticed that. So, oh, what is that? Go look. Hey, I got a silver quarter. Occasionally, some people accidentally put them in the machine. Sorry, phone not working properly. Going tired repeatedly. Oh, hey Cheryl, how you doing? Sorry to hear about that. Steve says, what's the link to the gold back? Few days, just put it there. There it is. They've been posted on my recent videos. If you go back to the older videos, it's a different code. It's the one that ends with a /15 because 15 is my affiliate number with Defy the Grid. Affiliate number 15. So if you use the one with the 15, that's me, which means I've been an affiliate with them for some time. I've not been promoting it that much. But a lot of people were getting them when I wasn't even speaking about it, and people were buying these things because I put it in my links below. They hadn't even been mentioned. I did a couple of videos on it, but I noticed there's people continuously buying them from me without me even talking about them. So I thought, well, why not re-up this? And hey, CM3, love is the answer. You're so right, and thank you for sharing the love. I appreciate that. Salute. All righty, guys. So the gold back is something that you can put in your wallet and trade. And the government don't have a string on it. It won't be like a CBDC. They put it in your account and they can expire it, take it back, tell you how to spend it, what not to buy. They might say, you can't buy any kibbles for that nug. You can't buy no more nugs. You can't buy any nug oil to keep the coat on your nug nice and shiny. Happiness is a warm nug, I got to do some t-shirts on that, right? One of these days I'll come up with some work. I've just not had time. That'll be coming. I tried to get through Etsy last winter and they kind of messed me up. And I just didn't have time to go back and rework it. But I will make another go at it in the not too distant future. Mercury is good too. Aliens use it. Oh, what was that old movie where the aliens made nuts and bolts out of diamonds? Diamonds were cheap for them, but mercury was like rare, and so the guy traded them a bunch of mercury from thermometers and got them a handful of diamonds. What was that movie? Was that the old oh shoot, what's the name of that? Is that the one that Keanu Reeves made a remake on it? I think, but there's a movie from the 50s. What movie was that? I don't remember, guys. That was funny. Yeah. We use these things for nuts and bolts. Or everywhere we come from. But mercury, oh yeah, they wanted the mercury. Ack. There you go. Guys, there's some weird stuff going on with that topic area. Senator Rubio and Chucky Schumer are coming out with some joint stuff. Even Jake Sullivan started talking about it. I don't know, guys. Some weird stuff's going on. I don't really want to talk about it just yet. This may not be the right channel to discuss such things, but that's pretty. So you're getting more than just gold. You're getting artwork. It's real pretty. Real pretty. So I'll probably have to get me a few more of those one day. Diamonds are a dime a dozen. Yeah, maybe. Well, the only reason, actually De Beers controls how many diamonds are released in the world. They go in and buy every mine that can make it, and they release them slowly. If diamonds were really available as much as they could be, they would be cheap. Their value is probably it's propped up. Just kind of silver's been tamped down. Well, that's been propped up. Silver will probably go up, but silver's been held down. What, the 23? Yeah, if you go to Defy the Grid, you actually go to their website. I'm trying to pull that up. Where's that at? Go share again. Ding. Hey, Eric, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Let's go over here and look at Defy the Grid. This is a website. Look, they say if you find a better price, they'll meet it or beat it. That's for any gold coins or bars you buy. So if you come in here, you can't beat that because they will meet or beat any price you can find anywhere else. Cartel price. That's it, Booger Dog. That's what De Beers does. Cartel pricing. Absolutely. Eric, appreciate it. Well, we got some great super chats tonight. I really appreciate that, guys, because my revenue has been way down because my views have been so much down on other videos. That really helps out a lot. So you can buy gold backs, you can buy gold coins, gold bars, you can buy silver notes, which are like the gold backs for silver. You can buy silver coins, silver rounds, or you can get bars, silver bars, or platinum. Then they got this Aztec round. That's kind of cute. So they got a wide variety of stuff you can get. Gold bars. If you want gold bars, you can get gold bars. Coins. Like I said, they've got a promise on here. If you can find a price, it's better they'll meet it or beat it. But the selection of these bills is quite impressive. They make them in various states or versions for various states, and they come to denominations look like they go up to 50. That would be 50 1,000ths. My peeps says, anyone know why they closed Yellowstone? I saw something on that, but I don't know. Your thoughts on silver rounds? Well, if you scroll up here at the top, it'll tell you what silver's trading. Well, silver's actually gone up a little bit. 25. It was 23. So silver's gone up a little bit. Gold's almost 2,000 per troy ounce. I expect after the BRICS conference, that'll probably shoot up. So you might want to get this stuff sooner rather than later if you're inclined to get this. Now, do get your long-term food, your food storage, get seed, do all that first, guys. For seed, you can always go to my links to True Leaf Market or Eden Brothers. But so I got a Wyoming gold back. Here's the set. Buy a whole set. Yeah, it's not cheap, but you get quite a few different things. We got different denominations here. And look, yeah, and just like your European money, the bigger bills are worth more. In Europe, that's the way the money used to be. I don't know, I haven't seen the euros, but when I was in Europe, that's before the euro came out. Like a small dollar bill would be a small bill. The big dollar bill would be a bigger bill. So you can know what it was just by feeling it. The same way with their coins. You know what coin you had in your pocket by feeling it. Unlike the United States, it made a dollar coin. It felt just like a quarter. You couldn't tell them apart, which was stupid. I think silver will rise more than gold on a dollar for dollar investment. It might seem alternative. We've been expecting that for some time. There's trading blocks of those. There's Utah, Nevada, New Hampshire. Check out the Utah bills. Got justice on there, the scales. That's the back side of it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, a lot of stuff here. It's pretty cool. Anyway, enough of that. Stop the show. Yeah, make sure you come in and join our Survival Tribe Network, survivaltribenetwork.com. Go in, join, go on the community search page, find people in your area, find people you think you might have share something with, contact them and see if y'all got enough in common to form a tribe. Vet anybody you get involved with very carefully. Freedom Restoration Foundation, go into our action center. And it tells you how to contact, how to find and your state representatives, and they get past all these actions. How to find your member of Congress or senators, how to track bills in the state and Congress. Tells you about how to call them. This is a switch. This is Capitol Hill switchboard. Call that number and press 1 for Senator, 2 for House. Press or say it, or and then tell them what state you want, who you want to talk to. So you can call their offices, guys. Something's bugging you. There's a bunch of old action. I got to get a new website, a person to maintain a website for us. Anyway, enough of that. We need to go, folks. I'm out on sleepy time. Yeah, we need to go, guys. So, yeah, platinum's a metal. It's a very valuable metal. That's why they offer platinum. 130 in the house. All right. So, Robert, in New York, a 20-year-old bought a hotel from a gold coin. Wow. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Colorado Jan, thank you for sharing links. Appreciate that. New days, you got a helper here. George, 2 witnesses are awakened. That wouldn't surprise me, George. That one, you know, they got the red calf over there now. Things are getting interesting, guys. That, all this announcements coming out, all these things. Times are getting interesting. World War III. We might blow ourselves up, burn ourselves to crispy critters. We might have the end of days at the same time, or come up with technology for life extension, all kind of stuff. Man, it's just the robotics, the AI. We're in interesting times. We are living in the future, guys. Got to remember the movie Soylent Green was set in last year, 2022. Wow, guys, it's crazy times we're in. You know, they want all their stuff in place by 2030. 7 years. Magnets are pretty cool too. They are. I always loved playing with magnets from the time I was a kid. Alrighty, folks, we're going to go. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's been a great night for super chats. I want to thank you, mods, for coming here and sharing links and just making sure the conversation stayed clean tonight. And I want to thank you, everybody, for watching. So really appreciate it. And just remember what I always say, just like Sim3 says, love is the answer. It is. Our world's got too much hatred in it. And we got to wake our young kids up. They've been indoctrinated. But you got to approach them with understanding and love and try to work them into seeing things. You can't just hit them over the head because with the truth, because they can't see it. They're conditioned. So you got to kind of bring them through. Bring them through. I may do a lot more videos coming up about socialism, communism, and all that kind of stuff, and the war that fails, and you know, some stuff y'all can use for deprogramming. Anyway, guys, we are in interesting times, but remember the movie Knowing with Nicolas Cage. Okay, New York, yeah, to buy a hotel in New York City with 1 coin, that's amazing. We got a lot of iron. Iron's very plentiful. Iron is one of the most plentiful elements, guys. All right, guys. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you all. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not giving me a thumbs up, hit it on the way out. And remember, guys, this platform is really putting a big boot on me. So share the videos. Share them in whatever social media you got, Facebook, whatever. Share them, spread them around. We need to get the word out, right, guys? Wait, long video can't stay. Yeah, we got to go. We've been going for 85 minutes. It's time to go. Thank you all again. One and all. Oh yeah, what I was going to say is, light dispels dark, love dispels hate. So shine your love light in the world. That is the answer. So thank